Welcome to South Harmon. Welcome to South Harmon. Hey, welcome to South Harmon. We glad you here today. Another AMA. Ask me anything. Super chat is cool if you wanna pay to play. Like and subscribe, that's what we really appreciate. Let me introduce you to the tear down king. Mike McNutted, ask your questions, he'll answer anything. ATM, you know Adam, put them graphics on the screen. Glad you tapped in now, stay tapped in for the team. Hey, everything is posted. Go follow the socials. South Harmon, FF tag us if we get noticed. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today. Another AMA. Welcome to South Harmon, we glad you here today.
Oh yeah.
What is good, party people? We are back Wednesday night AMA, rolling at you on Scott Fishbowl week. Man's got his own week. Man's got his own week. It is for a great cause, fantasycares.org. Go check them out. Absolutely. Make a donation, even if you're not in Scott Fishbowl. Adam, did you get your donation in? I know I got my donation in. I can't wait.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's always
I'm ready.
a good time.
I'm ready to go. I'm just a little bit disappointed that after all this, you know, we did 3 different episodes before the start of the draft to, you know, talk about our strategy and all that. For what? For what?
For what?
So that the golden gift of when I ask you, you haven't even released this yet. What is the dream scenario? The 101, your first pick falls into your lap at 109.
Wouldn't even know it. Wouldn't even know it.
I'm actually not even mad. I put it on the thumbnail to, like, you know, just draw the interest up. I'm not actually mad at CeeDee Lamb, but I'm like, why the fuck do you get him at 109 and I got to use 102? It's pretty crazy.
I was sweating too. You know, I was like, man, I'm in a division with Maddie and Cody and Alan Seslowski and Nate Liss and
yeah.
Okay. Maybe they feel bad for me. Maybe I am that fat kid in grade school who everybody picks on, and they're like, finally, we'll just let you have one. All right?
Well,
all right, little guy.
What's funny, though, is the day of, right? So Cody puts the tweet out that he's going to go to the podium and, you know, take A-Rich at 101. And I was thinking, oh, shit, well, that was kind of Mike's hope at the 109 pick. Like, fuck, all right. Well, he'll get something. We talked about the scenarios. We just didn't think CeeDee would fall. So go ahead and tell the people. I'm going to try to see if I can get that screen share you sent me in Discord, I believe. So talk to people what happened in the first round and what your brain's thinking as each pick's unfolding.
So Cody went A-Rich, you know, bold. I like the conviction, though. He stood behind his tweet. It wasn't a smoke show, smoke screen. He took A-Rich. Allen went Josh Allen, which I was like, okay, we got a little bit of quarterbacks. Kind of crazy that CeeDee and Christian McCaffrey would fall to pick 3 and 4. And then pick 3 and 4 went, and it was Lamar and C.J. Stroud. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Oh, here we go.
I was like, this ain't happening, man. Still ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm getting one of these guys. Jalen Hurts went next. And, you know, I always like to see my boy Jalen Hurts go up at the top, but I was like, okay, I guess I kind of get it. But, like, we're getting fucking ridiculous here now. Maddie then I thought was going to break my heart, right? Like, he was like, enough of the bullshit. I'm taking Christian McCaffrey off the board. Done. You guys have fucked around long enough. CMC.
Time to find out. Yep.
So I'm 2 picks away, right? There's 2 managers between me and when I'm up at the 109. Somebody takes Patrick Mahomes. I was like, cool. Wasn't really it. That's fine. And then Bijan Robinson goes. Adam. So when I come up and it tells me on the clock, I had to do like a triple take because I didn't even have CeeDee Lamb in my fucking queue because I was like, that's not an option. It's kind of like in the NFL draft. You ever see that where like a quarterback who's projected to go really, really high, number 1, number 2, etc. They fall, and the team who's on the clock at like 6 is like, I don't know what to fucking do. We didn't scout this guy.
Yeah,
we didn't even bring him in for a workout because he wasn't supposed to be here for us.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck's happening. Thankfully, though, you and I scouted CeeDee Lamb for your team, like we did. So we had CeeDee at the 109.
We had a combination of, you know, looking at the 102 and the 109. We just didn't predict this type of craziness. Let me ask you this question. I'm going to try to get this screen share. I think we're ready to go for it. But let's say like Stroud didn't go, or Mahomes didn't go, or Lamar, whichever quarterback didn't go there. And let's say CeeDee went at 108. Do you take Tyreek now at 109? Or what do you do at the 109 right there? I'm kind of curious, actually. Obviously, this is revisionist history that doesn't matter. But
revisionist history. Tyreek would have been in play. It would have been tough for me between him and Kyler. So Nate Liss ended up getting Kyler at the 111, and I got a big-time grade on Kyler Murray for this season, especially in this format. You and I talked about it a little bit. Mm-hmm. That was kind of my fallback plan, and man, I don't know what would have happened if I'm staring at. I didn't think Tyreek would have been there either, so he went one pick after. So if it was Tyreek or Kyler, Adam, I don't know. I'm probably torn like 50-50 on what I do here.
Sure.
Either or.
With you.
Either or.
Do you have let me ask you this then. So in the second round, right, you end up getting Brees, which you'll have to watch tomorrow.
Was in consideration.
You'll have to watch tomorrow to really believe me, I feel like, at this point. But, yeah, it was going to be your first pick, potentially, right, depending on how things fell. You were prepared to take him in the first. So I guess walk through, like, what happened there. Was it even in consideration? I don't think it was. And if he would have gone at, let's say, the 203, let's say Hype Machine snipes you, what do you do there?
Well, for me, I knew Kyler Murray was going. And you knew Jamar Chase was probably going, and you probably had a realistic expectation Justin Jefferson was going. The Joe Burrow pick and the Amon-Ra St. Brown, what the? Really?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even considering Joe Burrow, even if he, like, fell to me. He wasn't on there because he's a pocket passer. And in this format, I fucking care less. I really can't.
For the record, for people that don't know, maybe you're not in it or you haven't seen the scoring, it is... I believe it's for every 50 passing yards, you get a point. I mean, it's just to give you context. It's normally 25. So you get a pass.
It's double, right?
Yeah. You get a point for every 50 passing yards. So your quarterback goes out there and throws for 450. Mike, who cares?
Doesn't really matter, right? And the Russian quarterbacks are weighted so heavily, which is why Cody took A-Rich at the 101. I mean, they are rushing first downs and point per carry. So you want mobile quarterbacks, right? Those are the guys that are in consideration. So Joe Burrow wasn't. Amon-Ra, he's nice, Adam, and we talk very glowingly about him, especially in Dynasty and kind of where he ranks, and is he just basically diet Jamar Chase at this point?
Right.
But wide receivers, unless they're CeeDee Lamb or Tyreek Hill, or you project like a Jamar Chase to take that CeeDee Lamb like leap this year, they're kind of fucking irrelevant. They really are in this. Running back and quarterbacks are just weighted so heavy. Running quarterbacks and running backs are weighted so heavily that I'm good whether I get an Amon-Ra in the second or Devontae Smith we just saw him go, in the 5th round? Who gives a shit? Same player. Same meaningful output to your team, but a big discount. So
then you get at the 304, you get Trey, right?
So this was probably the first like real decision I had to make.
Yep.
It really was, and it was between two guys. I put it in the Discord too. I'm like, hey, I'm coming up. I even put it on Twitter, like just to cuck myself. I tried to cuck myself. Nobody listens to me. That's how small time I am. Nobody gives a fuck. I love it. And we're back.
But the crazy part though, Mike, is it didn't kill the stream. I don't know how, but my Scarlet actually just had a conniption fit midstream here.
It was like, we're done. We're done with you.
It did, but the good news is it didn't kill it like last time. We are bike.
Great.
We're bikes. We're so fucking bike. But Mike, continue with what you were saying. Actually, what's crazy was I couldn't hear you, so I don't know what you said last.
Thomas isn't even on to be like the one to blame this time. Right?
I know.
About him just burying Travis Etienne or whatever the fuck Ray Thomas was on. It's not even his fault.
It wasn't even his fault.
All right, let's see if we can recover that. All right, so my train of thought anyways is Joe Burrow here going in. Amon-Ra were surprised, so boom. Breece Hall, I get him in the second round. I had considerations for him in the first, but we know the first went not like you and I predicted at all. Not even fucking close. So third round comes. Cody taking Dak Prescott at the 212, like sent me on tilt. Maybe that's why the stream died.
It might
I
be
was just about
the
to-
tilt, right? Yep.
Right. I'm thinking like, I might be able to get him in the early third.
And
No,
it didn't happen. Nope.
no,
Nope.
fuck me. I did enjoy the run of tight ends, all of them. Like I did. I was like, okay, we're getting closer, huh? We sneak a couple more in here. Caleb Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs. Gibbs was probably queued up as like my locked-in pick, but Nate, again, fucked me, took him. So Jordan Love, I didn't have any considerations about. So anyways, I put on the Twitter, like letting everybody know about what I wanted to do, and it was going to be between McBride and Achane. And
Yeah. I was reading that.
I kind of was like, well, whichever one falls to me, in case he goes. Jordan Love went. Now I'm sitting there and I got to stare at two of them, the only two real guys I have in consideration. I think Garrett Wilson was in the Q2, but a distant third for me. I'm sitting there and I'm going, okay, what are the likelihood? I pulled up Adico's ADP on Scott Fishbowl, and I'm just kind of looking at it, and I go, what's the likelihood that Achane might make it back to the 409, Adam? And on ADP,
and the way
he's
you've been
going
drafting so far, 100%. It's 100% going to happen.
He was going at the 406 in ADP, and McBride was going at the middle to end part of the third. So I was like, okay, well, that made it for me. I'm going to take McBride, somebody I think has a realistic shot to be the number one tight end this year, just especially with the way he finished. I went to WARP. I looked at WARP per game, and I just filtered it by when McBride started playing, and I'm like, oh, like he would have clearly been the number one tight end, like a top 6-7 option. So I take Trey McBride. Of course, the rest of the draft unfolds. And wouldn't you know it, Adam, coming back at the 409 when I get up to the clock, I'm going, what the fuck? Achane's still here. We're playing with house money, boys and girls. Let's go. Devon Achane. It wasn't until the 5th round where it's a guy, if you guys follow this show, Justin Herbert, I shit on all the time for 2024. But like, look at the two quarterbacks that are the only ones that have gone after him, Kirk Cousins and Deshaun Watson. I wasn't fucking taking any one of those guys in the next 2 rounds. Herbert was like the last of that maybe QB1s, and I could tell myself a good time story about how possibly he's got more rushing upside this year with Greg Roman. Maybe like a really, really, really diet Lamar Jackson. Like really diet.
I'm kind of actually fast. I am intrigued to see if it equates to him rushing. You would think a little more, but like, what does that actually look like? I am very interested to see that. As we know, we already covered, we're super nervous about like how often this team's really going to throw. But to your point, the interesting part about this format is the rush attempts and the yards. Even if it was, let's say, like, if he made 350 or 400, Mike, that would be actually a nice little floor that would probably help boost where you're drafting him, especially here in the 5th round, right?
Yeah, it really would. It'd help out a lot. If I think it's just a less volume passing offense from what he's had, and it still puts him at like back end QB1, any kind of rushing boost is going to be a bonus that I didn't really plan on.
Right. So like, I actually wanted to give some context. I think this will really help people kind of understand it from the scoring perspective. Right. So last year, when you think about it's 1 point for every 50 passing yards, right? But it's 0.25 points per carry. So when you look at last year's stats at QB, Russell Wilson was the number 7 option in WARP, right? And people are going to be like, what the fuck? How? Well, I don't think people really realize, Mike, Russ ran 80 times last year. Now, it was only for 341 yards, but 80 rush attempts and then 3 rushing touchdowns in this format, actually massive. So while he only threw for 3,000 yards, number 7 in WARP. So I just wanted to put that out there. I think that's very much within the range of outcomes for him to run for 350, 400.
Yeah, it is. And then Rashid Shaheed, right in the 6th. I've been letting him go. If you watched our videos on this, you'll know, just to break the news to you, if you still have questions about it. Rashid Shaheed last year in WARP was a top 5 wide receiver. Because this league has such stupid good. Stupid in a good way. Not stupid in a bad way. Has extreme points for kick return and punt return yardage.
Yeah,
which Rashid Shaheed was the best in the NFL last year at that. He really was. He was an all-pro. Like, he made the Pro Bowl and was named all-pro as a returner. And he brings that, I don't know, what, like wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 already on offense type ability.
With Boom like
With
serious
spike
spike weeks in his range of outcomes, and that was with Carr injured last year, basically the entire fucking season.
It was, and with Michael Thomas there to start the year, and they kind of went through a crazy thing with offense. I know a lot of people in the YouTube comments have been talking about how much they love, fucking Clint Kubiak now being there, and how much better that offense is going to be when I was shitting on him earlier.
Why, Mike? The Saints on my I'm
just saying.
I know. I'm not mad at you. I'm saying this is why I don't get on that damn platform. It's because I'm scrolling and it's all I see. I'm like, what do we have nothing else to talk about?
In reality, with Rashid Shaheed, like, he should have been in the consideration for anybody in the second or third round. So
I'm telling
even
you
if
the
you
truth.
think the receiving work stays the same, right, from year over year,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I can tell you that's going to improve is the kick return yardage that he's going to get.
It
I
should.
can't say anything about punt returns, but you can say definitely the kick returns are going up.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people understand how much of an impact the new kick-off rules are. Right, teams are not incentivized at all to kick the ball in the end zone. If they kick the ball in the end zone, it comes out to the 30, not the 25 no more, the 30.
Right.
So teams want to kick it in that what they call the catch zone, right? The target zone.
Yep.
And they want the guy to return the ball. They really do, because odds are, with everybody so close, there's not a bunch of running starts, not wide open lanes. Lane integrity still a thing. If you played football, your special teams coordinator fucking scream at you till he's blue in the face about stay in your fucking lanes.
I used to hate that shit in high school. I really did.
Well, lane integrity is still going to be, because the line up 5 yards, or is it 5 yards or 10 yards? The kicking team and the return team away from
10,
each other.
right?
If you watch the UFL, you'll know what I'm talking about. When they do kickoffs,
Wait, is it
it's the same
5?
thing.
I thought it was 10. Is it 5?
It might be 10. I think it might be 10.
Okay.
So
5 was crazy. Either way, it's ridiculous, but yeah.
Not big running starts, not a lot of time for people to get out of the lanes or lane assignments. So there's going to be a ton more kick returns. Teams aren't just going to boot the ball out of the back of the end zone anymore, because they're going to try to pin people in the 10, in the 15. Right? Field position becomes a massive must. So they're going to boot that fucker up there. They're going to try to land it at the 1.
They're going to try to really arch that thing in,
And returners are incentivized to return it, right? Another part of the rule that people didn't really understand, if you dive into it, Adam, if the ball hits in the target zone outside of the end zone, right? So if it lands at the 1 and rolls into the end zone, the returner either has to return it or he has to down it. And if he decides to down it, the ball only comes out to the 20, right? So it's not a lot of incentive for the return team to not try to return it, right? To not go like, oh, fuck, pick this thing up and run. Plus, you can have 2 returners back at the same time. They can move. They're the only people allowed to move other than the kicker when he runs up to kick the football. So, long story short, there's going to be a fuck ton more kick return yardage in the NFL than we have seen in recent past. So I know that part's going up. So his actual warp advantage, even if his wide receiver marks stay the same, means Rashid Shaheed in the second round in this format with these stupid return yards, like, you should have been taking them. You really should have.
I'll admit to you.
Most people don't know about it, so it's a walk in that fine line, like trying to see like how long you can let them hang out there before you pull the trigger. Like, where you're like, how much of this value can I let build? In the 6th round, I said, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I'm getting nervous. Somebody might be onto our shit. I know last night I'm in this draft, and you and I were talking with a few people who are around here, and I was like, I wanted to scream at you to shut the fuck up when you brought up Rashid Shaheed. I'm like, shut the fuck up, don't tell him. Stop saying his fucking name.
I know. Well, I'll admit to you, right before that, I think I was telling you that the reason I brought it up was because I got a little bit too cute, and it was like I immediately after I drafted Alvin Kamara, I was like, oh fuck, I forgot about Shaheed, and that one I wish I had back. But I still think Kamara could have a really good season with Waldron's offense, but Shaheed I think is going to be a cheat code in this format, frankly. So I would prefer him to Kamara.
Clint Kubiak's offense. offense.
Waldron's in the Chicago. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, I'm actually really excited for Kubiak. But that should make some people upset that are really Saints heavy for the record right now, right?
You should trigger them, right? You're gonna hear it in the comments.
Good.
I guarantee.
I'm good. By the way, Mike, that was the reason I brought that up too. I was watching or looking at some stuff, and it was a tough call. If Shaheed wasn't actually there, which I should have drafted, Kamara and DeAndre Swift was a tough call for me because I think the ranges of outcomes for Swift are wide. We've seen that year in and year out, but I could see him actually being really good in that offense too.
So I can tell you that Alex Dunlap probably doesn't watch this show. Right? Cody, shut the fuck up. Don't say anything.
If he does, it'd be awesome.
I'm up next right after he, whenever makes his pick. And there's one guy I'm super high on targeting because I just found out this guy returned kicks last year too. He was already fucking amazing on offense. So he returned a few kicks last year, and I'm like, ooh, if that improves, holy shit. We add to it. I should have been thinking about him too. So we'll see. Just don't fucking snipe me, please, for the love of God.
So you got him at the 609. He went at the 6. I passed on the 602, and so immediately Mike was thinking like, damn, the 711 was way too risky to try to let him go, and it didn't happen. I think the 609 is actually pretty surprising. I'd be interested to see after all these drafts are in the books the ADP, and I would love to see if we can find a way to pool like who got the absolute gem. Like, how far did he slide in one of these drafts? I would love to see it.
So yeah. I don't know the link of the website, but the guy on Twitter who does this, Josh ADHD, I think is his Twitter handle.
I think I've seen him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He does the Scott Fishbowl like ADP stuff every year, but he also lists in there like the earliest a player went, the latest a player went. I'm sure Adico's probably got something that's pretty similar, Adam. I do know the earliest so far, the leader in the clubhouse, somebody took him at the 112. So like they were on game. They knew. They weren't fucking around.
Wow. Now at that point though, he better stay healthy and smash. He has to do that. He still could live up to that, but that's making sure you're ahead of it. For the record though, I just wanted to bring this to people's attention. Last year, this is not Warp for the record. We see this on the screen from Boyle. How do people not know about Warp? I mean, there's a lot of other options out there. But, if you know, and it's paying off for you in a big way. But, Mike, number 18 in the format in points per game last year, including out of the super flex option.
Yeah.
Just flex? How about a really nice flex of Raheem Shaheed inside? You said the 112. He's the 11th player in flex last year. So, bake in any type of upside or improvement for him, role expansion. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
stop it. I'm gonna be devastated when if I would have taken Shaheed, I could have had a really good finish.
I know Alan tried to shit on it on Twitter for me. Like, what if Bub Memes is a return?
Good.
So I had to like bury that. I had to link him Bub Memes return stats in college, which are dog shit, terrible. So listen, I think it's just jealousy, Alan. I'm on to you. All right. And this is not a dynasty league. We can't make fucking trades in here, so driving down his price is just accept your fucking medicine, Alan.
Alan's somewhere saying, "Are you allowed to drop people though? When he's useless for you, are you allowed to drop him?"
He's tried.
I love it.
He's tried.
6 rounds in, we'll see if you end up getting to make your pick. This guy's been on the clock for an hour and a half.
Well, last time it was 7 hours and something.
Well, I was gonna say I think it stops
Cody?
at 2. Is it stop at 2 a.m.? When does it stop?
I don't know. It stops soon.
Yeah, so you may not be actually making this pick, huh?
Yeah. Cody, get your boy.
All right, so let me get this back.
I like your background, your wallpaper.
Yeah, this is what Apple just gives you, and I don't really care to change it, to be honest.
Just the basic. Basic. I'm glad it's not something that's going to get us canceled. So I appreciate that.
If you saw it moving, it might. You start seeing some crazy stuff.
Jesus Christ.
Hold on, let me get. I'll show you mine here. Well, anyway,
I bet you will.
Well, not yet. I'm at the end. If you take your shirt off, I'll take mine off. How about that?
Last week talking about piss. This week started it off with a busted stream and
last week talking about piss. This time actually pissing. So
actually pissing.
No. So any final thoughts or with your team and where things the way things shook out in this?
I couldn't be happier, to be honest. Like I couldn't.
Now let me ask you this: do you think I'll be truthful in startups or like redraft? Every time I leave a draft elated, I actually don't think I've ever won the title. Like when I'm in love with the draft, I feel like somehow, some way, it gets fucked up. But I'm just curious your thoughts. Like, do you see? I mean, I'm with you. You got every player almost you wanted. Well, first of all, of the 6 picks you made, you feel amazing about 5 of them, right?
Easily.
And
Yes.
Herbert, you feel like is at that point just an option you
Why
had
not?
to take a QB, right? So
Yep.
if you're telling me 6 rounds in that you are elated with 5 picks, you can't do much better. But curious if you think like I don't actually know the scenario where this team doesn't at least finish very well. Maybe it doesn't because of the way it's set up in a tournament, but like
Yeah.
anything you'd want back? Like if you could go back to Herbert, is there any consideration of any other quarterback there or a skill player?
No other quarterback. All the skill players that went off, no.
Okay. So it wasn't even a consideration. It was Herbert. Easy. All right.
Looking at everybody that went after, no.
Okay.
No.
So I mean, there's really nothing you wouldn't do. This
No.
this draft's exactly how you would like it to unfold, frankly.
Yeah, not to be conceited or whatever, but there's not.
No, it's fine.
No,
I'm just
any of
giving
those tight ends. Yeah.
I'm just giving a final little wrap up to where we're at right now. You know.
I guess maybe like if I was forced to, let's say Herbert went 1 pick before, and now it's like Josh Jacobs there. I probably would have ended up taking like Kenneth Walker or Shaheed right there, to be honest.
Okay. So here is mine.
Got him.
I told you I'd show you.
You're a lot farther along because people aren't taking 7 hours to make a pick.
I mean, yay and nay, a little bit. It kind of it's weird. Like we get some momentum going, Mike. Like you'll get like I don't know 5, 6, 7 picks rattled off in a row, and
Then you get the breaks.
And then we get the Jag. I know Jag doesn't watch us anymore, so even if he did, I would say it. But
He's
I
off
feel like
selling Gucci or nursing or whatever Jag's up to now.
I love that. Jag.
At one point, he was moving to Canada too. Did that ever happen? I don't know.
I don't think so, but I tell you the truth, it's been a while. So, what do you think here of mine? So I don't get to have the, the fortune of sitting back at the 109 and letting CeeDee fall in my lap. I go ahead and just grab him at the 102. Fair. And then the massive difference there, though, is that you then have with third round reversal, right? The 204 and 304, which you love the picks. I had to wait till the 211. I was kind of sweating it out here, Mike. We talked about it on the episode we did, like strategy-wise. It would be really hard for me to pass on Dak unless there was some other, like, really clear option in staring me in the face. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't, really, frankly, at all, based on what was there. So, I don't know. Do you have any was there any other considerations for you there at 211? For me, it was pretty easy.
No, that was pretty much the nuts. The nuts right there.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Jaden Daniels, but you already had CeeDee Lamb, so like the stack just made too much sense. Even if I was in that position, it's going to be Dak.
If I didn't have CeeDee, like it would have been a tougher decision. I will say the way that
that's Christian McCaffrey instead of CeeDee, like does Jaden come into conversation for you?
It would have been a conversation. I could have talked myself still into drafting Dak based on how they finished down the stretch, all the touchdowns. Yeah. I think he's going to throw still.
Yeah. I'm with you.
But it would have been definitely more of a conversation. I was not going to take him. I was not going to take Daniels ahead of Dak. He would have had to fall quite a bit further, but I wouldn't even have thought about it at 311. We talked about it there. The only chance I would have not taken him was Henry, who went off at 302. So when those two guys fell off the board, I was kind of just wait and see what happens. And Mike, I know in this format, right, with Warp, the Warp in this format is basically you want to have the high end receivers, so top 5, 6 receivers really, and then there's a bit of a fall off, and then it kind of plateaus. And I get it with Garrett Wilson, but Mike, I'm not letting him fall any further because I still think that he could end up being that type of a player this year.
I look at all the people that went after, including HN. Now, sequence-wise, you could have said, maybe HN before Garrett Wilson, but it worked out in your end anyways, right? Like, you did the same thing with the McBride thing that I did. So, I love it, actually, because there's not a single Marv, Drake London, Cooper Kupp. There's not a single fucking receiver that went after him that had the ceiling of Garrett Wilson. I get it. It is a little bit concerning, like how Aaron Rodgers is going to be in there. But you can also see a CeeDee Lamb-like situation because everybody else on that fucking team outside of Breece Hall stinks. They're fucking terrible. So Garrett Wilson may just be walking into 190 targets. Like he really would. Which I'm fucking, for the first time, you know me, I'm like the anti-Garrett Wilson guy since he's coming to the league at him, where I'm like, y'all fucking tripping. And this is the first year where I'm like, buy into Garrett Wilson. Let's go. Fuck it. I'm ready to risk it. So where you got him was perfect. And then you nabbed Achane on the turn. So it's just like, you got
we
the
talked
best of
about
both
this.
worlds.
I was going to probably take Achane, to tell you the truth. But then when you told me, what's weird is, Mike, the drafts have flipped. At the time, you were ahead of us.
Yeah.
Now we're way in front of you. But you told me that I could probably get Achane at the 402 because you got him at the 409. And I'm like, giddy up, 409, buddy. Let's clean up. We'll take the 402 here. So I took Garrett Wilson because I had a strong feeling he was already falling probably further than I expected, or that he should have. So took him, and then Achane was an easy one at 402. Then I think where I start having a little more debate was in the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th. But the first 4 picks, given what was on like in front of me, I didn't really have much hesitation at all. They were pretty quick.
So just me, like as a bystander, evaluating your draft. The only mistake, and you already touched on this one, was Kamara over Shaheed. Really was. Like if I look at him, I'm like,
as soon as I pressed the button,
up.
I was, for whatever reason, I was so locked in on running backs, and it was my cue was, and I just, I felt like I knew I was going to have to take Shaheed, and it just, I started narrowing in on Kamara and on Swift, and I'm like, I think I'm not going to get. All I would have had to do was have Shaheed in my fucking queue, and I would have done it. But it was immediately after I pressed, like, oh my gosh, what I totally messed that one up.
The only other one that I would have put maybe above Kamara, besides Shaheed, was the guy who went right after him in Smitty, just because of this Kellen Moore offense, this Keenan Allen corollary, if you want to call it, right? Just the way they move, and I'm like, this motherfucker could be the wide receiver 1 on the Eagles this year. We all think A.J. Brown, but the discount could be Devontae Smith. It really could be. So
yeah, my biggest problem was more so, Mike, when I look at Warp, I agree with you, but I do still see the very real scenario where he's in the mix of
very, very true. His downside is
if he finishes as a top 15 option, which I think I don't really have much. I don't really consider that he's not going to finish top 20, but he's got to be a top 12, I think, wide receiver in this format to really pay off. And that was kind of why I went with Kamara. Some of the stuff I was reading and thinking about with the way that I did a big breakdown on him recently, Mike. And the one thing that's stayed true in this Saints offense since 2017, and there's been a ton of change, Kamara's snap share, Kamara's usage. As long as it's not Taysom Hill in there, they're going to throw the ball to him. Like, I know it's only half PPR versus points per carry, but they still count. Last year he was great.
Still do.
So, I would if I could have that one back, that would be the only pick that I think through those first 2 that I would change. Curious your thoughts here on the 7, 11, and 802 then. So when you're on the end like this, there's, you get 2 picks, but there's, when you draft, like, for example, when I draft Kamara over Shaheed and forgot about Shaheed, you have such a long wait. Like, you're not getting those people that you were considering coming back. No, there's not happening.
It ain't coming back. So Najee Harris, I'm looking at like some of the players that went after him. The only one I'll throw in there over maybe Najee is Tank Dell, because of kind of like Rashid Shaheed. He did return some kicks last year and punts. Like, he did a little bit. Maybe not kicks, but he definitely did punts. I think he had 11 punt returns. So return yardage might factor in. You already know how explosive he was, so kind of the Rashid Shaheed similar thing, but probably better in the receiving game. Najee, though, completely fine. Maybe Ramondre, possibly, with that contract. Did that come into consideration for
Ramondre,
you at all, like between those 2?
Yeah, Ramondre, and it was really Najee 1, Connor 2, and Ramondre at 3 for me as far as the people at the running back position. My biggest problem was, while I was strongly considering double tapping RB, I'm like, all right, we're running low here on the QBs, and the QB warp is basically if you go too far, you're screwed.
Really fucked.
So it was between, like, I wanted Watson, my homerism, and just knowing like the agony he's going to put me through again this year. I was thinking about just playing it safe with Stafford. And I honestly thought, Mike, I'd be able to get Russell Wilson a lot later, and he got drafted in the 8-10. Somebody was early on Russ, but Yeah, so that's why I went with Watson and Najee. But yeah, he definitely in consideration was Connor and Ramondre. I could have had both, but I still feel like I made the right decision. Ramondre to me probably has a higher ceiling potentially, but I really don't know. The biggest problem for me is I don't know what the hell that offense is going to look like.
Could be bad. I was going to do a little math here. The Watson pick I actually really like too because, listen, when you get to this range, you're just taking the dart throw quarterback, and it's the last of the mobile guys. It really is. Like a good, besides Daniel Jones, which I don't think you will really want to invest your QB2 slot into Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, when you take him as your QB2, really feels like I got to take somebody else as well. I need a really good or a solid QB2.
The other thing, though, for me was if he wasn't coming off of an injury to his legs, right? Like, I could see it more so. I don't know. I'm with you. I think he's a guy that could offer rushing, but I just don't know how much he's going to run this year.
Let me just throw this out there. It's a projection. I mean, I know people have their feelings on Watson and they hate him, but the one thing I could say specifically for this format, Adam, he was running last year. So if you just look at his 5 healthy games where he played the majority of the snaps, right? Not the Indy game where he only played 5 and then pissed off. He was on pace for damn near 500 yards rushing last year on the ground, which if he were to play a full season and actually get 500 yards rushing with all the first down bonuses and points per carry at him, he should be a lot higher. He should definitely be going before Goff and Kirk Cousins and probably Tua and Caleb Williams and Trevor Lawrence range. Jaden Daniels right after him. Yep. That's the kind of territory you're going to be in this scoring with the rushing. So it's an upside play, and I don't mind it at all. It really is. Yeah,
I was looking also, the format here is so different than probably what people are used to seeing in most scoring formats where, if you look at 2022, now remember in 2022, this dude looked so bad and so rusty. It felt like every throw he was throwing was shortened in the ground. I remember vividly. But the last 2 games in 2022, Mike, he was quarterback 8, quarterback 6. He didn't even throw very well. He had 169 yards and 230 yards through the air.
Yeah.
But then last year, every game he was healthy and played the whole time for the most part. He was quarterback 5, quarterback 10, quarterback 8, quarterback 14. He did in week 2 have a terrible game versus Pittsburgh, quarterback 27. But just think about those finishes, right? That was last year 4 top 10 finishes out of 5 full games and then 6 if you include the one you started him where he got hurt. That given how terrible he was really last year even. That's it was kind of insane to think about. And when you look at him in his historical rushing, we'll see if he stops running the ball because he's with the shoulder. That's my only concern. But he's a guy that, similar to Russ, he's very sneaky on the ground. He gets 400-500 yards on the ground. It's a lot of times he can give you 5-10 touchdowns on the ground, believe it or not.
The last thing I noticed on this one, and let me just ask you your future strategy. Just about every fucking tight end that's worth a shit is gone. Right?
They're gone.
Even
They're all
some of
gone,
our
man.
sneaky guys, right? Pat Freiermuth or Goddard or, if you wanted to bank on T.J. Hawkinson in the second half, the tournament portion, being that dude.
He's already drafted.
They're all fucking gone. Yeah, he's already gone. I mean, these dudes are all gone. So you're really in this – are you in this, fuck tight end mode? I just find some turds in 7-8 rounds.
I mean, there's not really much else to do. I mean, frankly. Now, I think what I'll do probably though, there's a couple guys in my queue. I'm not going to put their names out there that I think I can get later. That I'm going to have to try to hit a home run, and if I don't, I'm just bleeding points at that position. Unfortunately, we looked at Warp and I was talking about with you that I would like to maybe potentially, if the scenario fell, get a couple tight ends and maybe flex one. And the person right next to me took Kelsey, McBride, Kincaid as 3 picks in a row. The scenario just didn't fall into my lap. So I will be hoping to A-warp tight end life this son of a bitch.
So, I mean, the next best one, this is the cool thing about the warp tool I love, Adam, is I can just put in your username and then look at the available players still left based on last year. So fucking, it's sneaky. I can stalk you. I can stalk you, and I can stalk this league. I don't even need to see the board.
Can stalk your prey.
The next best one, like Cole Kmet's got a 1.6 WARP, but you have to project that with Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze now in town, that Cole Kmet's still going to do what he did last year when he was the number 2 option, which I don't think that's a reasonable fucking projection at all.
No.
Like, that's a pretty piss poor projection. Your next tight end, Jesus fuck, man. I should have gone like list. The next tight end is Darren Waller, and he's fucking retired. So the next guy after that's Hunter Henry down at a 0.8.
Yep.
But I mean, that's like in 28, 29 picks essentially if you wanted to use warp before he's even a consideration. Another 2 rounds. Like if let's just say Hunter Henry's available in the 13th, 14th round. Are you thinking about him?
I mean, he's actually not one of the 2 names in my queue, but yeah, I'll just put it like this, right? I'm looking like we got 22 rounds of draft.
You got a long ways to go.
Now, but this is kind of the way I'm viewing it, and you tell me what you think. I'm kind of curious to see how it goes. I'm looking, okay, and I don't have a tight end. Katie Babbs doesn't have a tight end. And Coventry doesn't have a tight end, okay? Everybody else has at least one, and some of these people have multiple tight ends. So I think that the way it's going to go, at least my opinion, is that people now they feel exactly how you just said about the tight end position. They're not going to be thinking about flexing that position anymore. So really, there's 2 people. Is it 2 or 2 or 3? 2, right? 2 people, 2 and myself that need tight ends. So 2 tight ends come off the board. Like I'm probably going to be waiting a long time. And I have a few people down here that I feel like I'm going to draft towards the end and then just figure it out.
And it's a win-win situation too. Like let's just say this giraffe guy decides to keep fucking hammering tight ends. Like good luck to you, buddy. I mean, it's not fucking Dynasty where you can leverage it via trade.
Right.
And you're drafting subpar shit compared to what else you need to put on this roster that's actually going to give you a warp advantage. So it's a win-win situation for you. Yeah, fuck them tight ends, man. Fuck them kickers, too. Like, who the fuck takes a kicker in the 6th round? What are we doing?
You know what's crazy? There's been a lot of chatter in the league chat of this one. Apparently, someone that Flotilla knows in a different league saw Tucker go like 2 rounds earlier. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, Tucker wasn't even the number 1 kicker last year.
Good for them. Coop and I had this discussion, and I get it. It's a positional advantage to have the number 1, number 2 guy. It is. It's positional advantage. Sure. Adam, but that positional advantage, here's one of the things. I just looked at points per game. We don't have warp for kickers because they're fucking obsolete. No one gives a shit. All right? We normally focus on Dynasty. So I go and I look at points per game for last year for kickers. And the number 1 guy is at like 17.6 in this scoring. Which it is boosted for kickers. It really is. Like that's more than your home league.
Right,
for example.
Sure. Yeah.
But Adam, the 31st or the 32nd kicker, the league's worst fucking kicker, the worst starting kicker in the NFL, 31 to 32, is a whole 7 points per game behind them. 7. Like, that is not enough of a positional advantage for me. Considering, too, if you look at other positions and you go look at the worst starting, let's say it's like wide receiver 37. Go look at the points per game difference between wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 37.
Yeah.
It's massive. In this league, it's like 12 or 13 points.
Yeah,
even tight ends, a position we shit on, right? You're like, man, tight ends don't fucking matter. Once you get to a certain point, who gives a fuck, right? If you miss out on one of the top guys, who gives a shit at all?
For the record,
even
too,
those guys are like 12 points difference.
Yep.
Running back is extreme. Quarterback is extreme.
Yep.
The only position that's not extreme is kicker. And one of like the most finicky positions in the entire NFL, at least, especially once you get past the top guys, is who the fuck's kicking for your favorite team, right? You know, like they miss 2 field goals in a game or 3 field goals and they shank an extra point. They cut that motherfucker the next week and they bring like 6 dudes off the street and have tryouts. Like, who's going to be the kicker the following week? So
Think about
I'm
this,
good
too.
on kicker, Adam. I might not even draft one. I might just wait until we get closer to the season and just see, like, who's,
Really?
like, yeah, fuck it. Like, I might drop. I'm probably going to draft a running back in there who's like an RB2 or 3 on their team, and I'm looking for, like, a role increase. And they get cut, week 4 of the preseason. They're just done. They're sent to the practice squad or whatever. Fuck them. Cool. I'll drop that fucking guy and I'll pick up some kicker who's got a job at that point, and I'll just stream him for the rest of the season. I'm not fucking spending shit on kicker. Kiss my ass.
I mean, if I'll draft one probably, but it'll be 22nd round. I'm not going to.
I mean, I'll draft fucking Justin Tucker or Brandon Aubrey, for example, if we're in like the 14th round.
It's not
and there's
happening,
just one,
though, right?
It ain't fucking happening.
No fucking way. But because here's what's gonna happen, Mike. This just happens in drafts in general, no matter what, and especially if it's a redraft where it's a 1 year sprint. When people start getting uncomfortable, names they don't know, offensive situations they don't know what the hell to do. You know what they think they have, Mike? No matter what. Well, I'm gonna just get the best kicker. I'm gonna get the best defense. Okay. They never, those high end options at the defense or the kicker spot, they never fall well past ADP, unless you and I were drafting with 60 other clones of each other.
So I got it for you, and I love promoting good people who do good work. It is Josh ADHD, and you can find it on fantasylife.com. So Matthew Berry's site, there's a section under their Scott Fishbowl tool where you can look at all the ADP. You can look at like the earliest a player was taken, the latest a pick was taken.
Oh, perfect.
So.
I'm curious to see that on Shaheed. So
and,
I was just going to say, though.
Eric's the one in our Discord chat. He's always been posting the screenshots from that website, and it lists out like your whole team or whatever in a nice clean order.
I was just going to say this too. Okay, so like last year points per game, kicker Aubrey 17.6, Tucker 16.6. So first of all, there's a guy last year that was over a point per game higher than Tucker,
and he's still not the number one guy.
But even if you say that like you think Tucker's going to be great, which probably in this format he's never not been great based on the scoring, but the last year 14 kickers gave you 14 fantasy points per game. So let's say if you got 2.6 fantasy points per game out of the kicker, drafting them in at 601, brother, that's not ideal. That's suboptimal. I don't care what position it is.
So literally somebody, I looked up kickers, Adam, on this tool. Somebody took Evan McPherson at the 112.
What a stud, huh? That's like a Janikowski pick in real life, you know.
The earliest Justin Tucker was taken was 301, and then Brandon Aubrey, the earliest he was taken, looks like the 601.
That 301 might have been the one that Flotil was talking about how early it was. That's ridiculous.
Fucking stupid. What was the other one? Shaheed?
What up, Parker Hyde? Hey, Adam. Yeah, it's rare that I get just one person saying hi to just me. What's up, Parker?
I know this is a lot of redraft talk. It's about a league that, people try to get into. Not a lot of people are in it. I mean, they're in the grand scheme of things. There's a lot of people.
Yes, you can ask a question, Trip.
Yes.
I'm starring them, and we're going to be done.
This
with
won't
the
be
fish
a Scott
in
Fisher.
second.
Yeah, we're gonna get back to our fucking roots of Dynasty for fuck's sake. But it is Scott Fishbowl week, so I wanted to highlight it. One, it's for a great cause. It's one of the biggest, probably the biggest tournament out there. Do you know any other fucking tournament this big? No.
It's the biggest tournament for sure.
As of right now, the latest Rashid Shaheed has been picked is the 140, Adam. So I'll do some math in here. That's at least 10 rounds.
The 140?
Yeah, so 12.
How can that happen in my league?
12 and a half, somewhere in there. Does that seem right?
I got a calculator.
120 would be 10 rounds.
The middle of the 11th going into the 12th round.
Boom. I'm not
Mike,
terrible at math.
Can I tell you the crazy part? That means someone is already in the middle of the 11th or 12th round. What?
Oh, easily. I mean, there's some drafts I've seen that are like in the 20s already. They don't.
Dude,
have
I wish everybody was like just fucking. Let's go. Come on. Everyone just atting each other on there, and we got to get it done within a half hour.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
All right. We got mixing it up. Couple of goats. Appreciate it. Let's go ahead and flip it back to the. Main screen, huh?
Let's do it.
See, we get Mike in this 4K, and it's like, oh, look at that sexy beast, huh?
Come on, back. Man. You're much better looking than I am. I just got hair.
Well, I only have hair for a little bit longer. We'll
On my face.
we'll get to that. Maybe next week we can talk about that. But
Breaking news. Pick still hasn't been made. I'm still.
speaking of breaking news, Xavier Worthy just went in my draft. Could you hear that?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
908.
The alert. We're good.
As soon as I took the board off, there was a pick that actually took place. That was amazing, right?
What do you think about him in this format, too? Because there's a good possibility with that speed and his elusiveness in the open field, he might be returning kicks. Now, McCole Hardman and Kadarius Toney obviously still on the roster, so we don't fucking know for sure. But
dude, are they gonna are all those dudes making the roster?
Who the fuck else is on there, though? Like, at wide receiver, name them.
But I guess my question is, though, like...
I gotta look this up. Who the fuck else is on the Chiefs at roster besides Rashee Rice?
Well, let's pull it up. There's I bet you there's a longer list than you think.
Is what's his face Justin Watson still there?
I believe so.
Fuck.
Let's see.
Kansas City Chiefs depth chart. Thank you, our lads. Eric put me onto this a long time. Sky Moore, obviously.
So Justin Watson,
Worthy, Hollywood.
Ross is still on the roster.
Rice, Sky Moore, Watson, Kadarius Toney.
Look at all these wide
Justin
receivers.
Ross, Mecole Hardman. So there's 8 guys. The rest of the guys, Nico Remigio.
Yeah, Cornell Powell was there last year, right? Or is he a rookie? I thought he was a first.
He's been there a couple.
That's what I thought. He was at least there last year. Yeah.
In Montreux, Washington, and some dude named Jaron Hayek.
Oh, interesting. So he might be. He's not actually on the team's website. So
he's in a special color here. So he's
nice. Okay.
Adam, I'll give you $100 right now if you can tell me where Jaron Hayek went. Stop looking at your computer.
I mean, he's not even on my page. I'm clicking Control F to find him. He's not on there. So
all right,
okay, say it again.
$100.
So
Jaron Hayek, where did he go to college?
I don't fucking know. Is it?
Take a guess.
All right.
It's $100 guess.
All right. Let me see. This is basically impossible, but I'm gonna try.
It is.
Okay, I'm gonna play it along. All right. Is it?
I'll give you one hint. It's a historical basketball school.
Oh, that kind of narrows it down. Okay. Let me think. Kansas.
They've won a national championship in basketball in recent years.
Is there football Division I or like FBS?
It is.
Damn.
No, it is not.
It's not? Oh, that actually might have been. That might have narrowed me down a little bit. Okay, so Kansas is out. They won recently.
I'll give you an extra $100 this week on this week's paycheck if you can get it.
Really? Okay. Let me think. All right. So
I'll give you 5 more seconds.
all right. Let me think. I don't know. Villanova.
Fuck you.
Really?
No fucking way.
Well, Jay Wright I'm thinking of, and I'm like, I don't think that. I didn't know if they're FBS or not. You said no.
Fucking way.
You said no. It's got to be them. Who? Give me the other national champions that aren't FBS. As soon as you told me that, I'm like, it has to be Nova. Fuck.
Yeah. Fuck.
Dude, is it really though?
About $100. Yeah, it really is. It's
wow, Mike.
About $100.
I can't believe based on 2 hints that I got that narrowed down. I actually got to go look now. Is there another? I don't think there's another national champ that has a football team that's not FBS.
Not in recent memory. NCAA national championships.
Let's fucking go. You don't have to give me that 100, by the way, but I know you probably will.
Gonzaga doesn't have a football team, do they?
Gonzaga. I don't even. You know what? Does Gonzaga have a football team?
That's another question. Does Gonzaga have a football team? Who the fuck? I've never heard of anybody going to Gonzaga.
Oh wait,
to play football.
They apparently they do not, as of 1941. Looks like those are their last season.
That was a good team. I remember that.
That would have actually been pretty sweet if I guessed Gonzaga. They don't have a fucking team.
It's fucking great. It's great.
Okay, so Gonzaga. You did get Gonzaga did thread the needle, but they don't have a football team. All right, makes sense.
Fucking
Damn it.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Hold on. There was a comment in here that I wanted to put up. Yeah, it is.
You have a good one.
I'll tell you what, Mike. Let's do this for the Scott Fishbowl. Let's put that $100 instead of coming to me. Let's put it to a charity for adding to the Scott Fishbowl thing.
I'll donate another $100 to to fantasycares.org.
Perfect. Let's do that.
They
I think
don't-
that's
they
a
don't
better
put
way
limit
to.
on it.
I think that'll be good. You put my name out too this time.
I donated on behalf of South Harmon, so we'll just do it again. Another $100. Why not?
Perfect. I love it. W.
Goes to a good cause, man. Buying toys for kids. It's always good. It's always
Matt, what? I'll be honest with you. I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. Things are busy. I want to get on the pod though, so DM me. But Mike, I was going to tell you before we went to that. News for sure is that baby's going to be coming between Monday and Wednesday of next week.
Let's
so
fucking go, man.
it'll be soon.
I didn't ask you,
Yeah.
and I'm a piece of shit for this. Do you know the sex, or are you waiting?
No,
Are you waiting
it's
for something?
another girl. Girl number 2 on the way, man.
Another girl dad, man.
Girl dad,
You're
man.
fucking
Girl dad.
All right. Do you got a name picked out already, or is that like
we're down to like. So the due date's not till August. So we're down to like there's like 3 or 5 names on this. I think we're down to about 3, but we weren't expecting. Yeah, this is what my wife and I have to do now. There's a whole shared doc.
Let the South Harmon chat AMA help you decide. What are the 3 choices?
All right, this will actually be pretty awesome. See what my wife has to say about this.
I tried to do this with my my youngest daughter. My wife told me to fuck off when I put it on Twitter, and people voted. So
all right, so we,
for whatever it was worth.
That's fantastic. So there's technically 4 still out there right now. I think one might not make it, but all in play right now. Laney,
Solid start.
Everly,
Ooh, that's kind of nice.
Madeline,
Classic.
and
Classic Madeline.
Emery.
Emery. Ooh, that. Not gonna lie to you, may not be the popular opinion. I'm going with Emery.
Going with Emery.
I'm going Emery.
It's currently my number 2, and it might end up being my 1 because I have a feeling the one that I have at 1, my wife's going to take off of there. So
what's your number 1? What's your number 1? You think that's getting axed for the list?
Laney is my number 1.
That's a strong start. Strong start.
Then I have Emery. There's not a list on. There's not a name on that list that I'm like, oh, I don't want. So I'm fine. You know.
Matt Gomes, he can't name her Gonzaga. He can name her Villanova.
Dude, Nova? Like a star? Nova? Let's go.
No, you can't name her Nova. I know too many Novas, and they're all in the same profession.
What profession is that, Mike?
Nope.
Really?
Shut the fuck up.
I feel like I need to know more about this.
No to Nova.
Yeah, Zach.
I can't be Uncle Mike to a Nova.
Zach has this like really customized review he wants to have done for like 25 teams, and we're emailing, and I'm like, this is what I would probably need, and he's like, well, I better buy that review now or wait a good bit. Yeah, that's true, Zach. If you got pressing issues, I'm not gonna have a chance to do a slight review on that many teams for a good bit here. So.
It might be cheaper for Zach just to show up at the fucking expo in a few weeks. Just stay at the shit house, and he can just like pull up his phone and be like, "Hey, what do you guys think?"
I mean,
it
that would
might be
awesome,
fucking
though.
cheaper in the long run, and you have more fun.
Well,
I mean a Nova.
Oh well, all right. We are trending to be absolutely. By the time my second's here next week, we may no longer have this channel. We might be completely canceled.
Might be.
All right, CJ with we just got 2 super chats. All right, let's go.
What's up?
What up, CJ? Appreciate the super chat. Just sold Devontae Adams for a late 26 first. L or W. A late 26. I mean, listen. If you know, like, if you're telling me there's a strong chance, like, this is just a goon squad team, like a goated team, because projecting a 26 first to be late is, that team better be fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it better be. Adam, if you're not competing though, like you just take any first that you can get for Devontae, like his value ain't going up no matter what the fuck he does.
I would say that the only thing, it's one of those where it's funny. I'm actually doing this big research project right now, Mike, on like different draft picks and basically what their value has changed. And like with Keep Trade Cut, right? You'll see, for example, the Dynasty value or value, they call it whatever the hell they call that, their Keep Trade Cut value. It may only change a degree, but relative to the other skill players, they may have a little spike. So I guess what I'm saying is when Devontae Adams is playing, you may have some teams that right now won't send a first because no one's fucking playing football. Maybe if Devontae Adams has a couple big weeks, you could get a couple other buyers. I'm with you, I'm with you overall. But I guess here's the thing. I wouldn't put this as truly an L because you still got a first for Adams, right? My only thing is I just don't know that there's still so much name cachet with him. I might have wanted to see if I could wait until like September or October, and then if this is still the best offer, like fucking here. The only problem is on the flip side of that, what if this person ends up wanting to spend, he's got a hole burning in his pocket, or he or she.
Right.
Next thing you know, that first is gone before week 1. That's the only thing that you could have lost out on.
I'm good with it. If I'm not competing or even in the mix, fuck it. Give me any first. You can have them. I'll move on with my life. It's fine. Even if you know it's probably going to be late in 26, there's still a lot of shit that can happen there where...
Yeah, you might have left some meat on the bone, I would say, CJ, but at the end of the day, that 26 first is going to accrue value. The only reason I won't put a for sure W on it is I think you might have left a little meat on the bone, but overall, if you get a first for a player that's that old, and if you're not contending, it's probably going to end up being a win later on.
Update on this one, Adam. So W, CJ, for me. W.
I'm not going to answer the question. I already got my one lucky question right of the day. I can't believe Villanova.
The last non-FBS team to win a national championship in basketball, like non-football FBS team.
Okay.
To win a national championship. 1984, Georgetown, and I don't even know if they're a football team.
There you go. I don't.
Gonzaga. I saw it in the chat. Gonzaga has never won a
I was gonna
national
say.
championship.
I was also thinking like they've been. It feels like in 3, but have they actually won? And the answer is no. All right, my Nova guess at least stands true. I love this.
Yeah. So Gonzaga was 2017, the North Carolina. They lost to them.
Yeah, I remember that one specifically. Yep.
And then they lost to Baylor.
Yeah.
2021.
Baylor that team was nasty.
And can you name a dude from Baylor like in the league right now? No. The best one I could give you. Do you remember that Isaiah Austin? He wore the goggles because he had the bad vision and then never got drafted. He was an honorary draftee, but he had like some type of disease, like a heart disease or something that prevented him from playing basketball. Couldn't come in. 7-footer, could handle the rock, shoot the three. He was like the modern big man. Yeah. I'm
going to put your super chat back up, Matt, but mid to late, okay, that's a smash W. Like if you told me, the only reason I would have said it wasn't a W is if you told me it's like the best team in the league and they're just absolute goon squatted. Mid to late this is a W.
Trip Crown finally says something that wasn't trolling me in
that's 2026. That's a W,
CJ. Even the 112 will be more valuable than Devontae Adams.
Well, yeah, and by that time too. All right, so super chat from Matt Dennis.
Adam, I heard a sounder. Yes, there was a pick made in the Scott Fishbowl.
You're on the
clock? Now I can spoil it because I'm not going to get fucking sniped.
Hold on. Let me put it. Hold on. Wait. Let me put it on.
Got it.
Put it on. All right. Here you go. And by the way, let me get Matt Dennis's super chat up. Dun, dun. All right. Here we go. Mike's been on the clock for less than 30 seconds. This is amazing. Riveting stuff here. Tank Dell. What if Mike ends up? Can you imagine the how do I put this other than just to say it how it fucking is? The insufferable Mike that we will get if he ends up drafting the top 2 returners in this format this year. Oh my God!
Fucking go on, Tank.
I'll be honest. At that point, I'm gonna need that $100 for just to say I did something right to Mike. If he drafts this team and has the top 2 returners, this thing could be forget league breaking ever done in Scott Fishbowl, man.
If Scott Fish and Ryan McDowell have any sense of pride, sensibility, morals, they will do anything in their power to keep me from winning this fucking thing.
Well,
it'll never end.
Well, there's that for sure.
I would come in and, do some shady stuff behind the scene if I was them. Swap a dude out of a lineup, manually alter some scores, whatever it takes.
The league as a whole dropping specific players simultaneously, making things happen so that other teams
just
get
chalk it up to a glitch. Chalk it up to a glitch because I win this fucking thing.
See,
it's over.
This is
Matt.
it's for charity, and Mike's out here trying to gamify. I love it. I think someone will have to do it because Mike, I'm with you, but for the record, I don't know if I can handle you at that excited. Like I'll be happy for you, but I won't be happy for me or for the rest of the people here that have to deal with you. Matt, appreciate the super chat. Congrats to Adam and his wife. Mad love for you two guys. Can't tell you how proud I am with you two crushing it. Appreciate it, Matt Dennis,
Thank
man.
you, Matt.
Don't come back here on the draft stream and make me have to do you like I did last year, okay?
Shout out. We're still ironing out the details, okay? But Matt Dennis is going to be doing a fucking podcast for us on South Harmon Fantasy Football, okay? It will be done. I will get it done this fucking weekend. So go check out everything Matt's already got going on his own thing. But he will be over here talking to you weekly.
Well,
to the audio waves.
He will be. I'm excited for it. CJ, well, he's super chatting. Thanks for answering. I mean, let me just tell you how the rules go.
You don't have to, CJ, but I appreciate you.
We thank you for super chatting. And by the way, if you do super chat, if you super chat on AMA, we always answer it. You cut first of the line, and if somehow, some way you super chatted and we didn't get to it, we have a revisiting policy the following week. We will always make sure to go back and get it. We haven't, at least to my knowledge, Mike, we haven't ever missed one. We have had to go back to a prior episode, right? Well, what I mean is we didn't let it go. We never let anybody not have their question answered. It just rolled into the next week.
Got it.
For the record, CJ is, and this is what I was going to say, CJ, save some money, all right? Because we do team reviews for money. If you go to dynastyteamreview.com, speaking of money, we got the domain, man. dynastyteamreviews.com. Plug it in there. You can get a team review. Basically, you can customize it for a specific team where you can have a combination of two of the South Harmon team do the review for you. So that's myself, Mike, Eric, Van Eck from America's Game. There's Koopa. It's just us four, right? Doing reviews currently? Okay,
yep.
That's what I thought.
You, me, Eric, and Koopa. You pick.
You can
one.
pick.
You pick two.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like if you go to the club, you can pick whatever reviewer
If you want to be on there while we do the review, we'll get you on a stream.
We can do that. We have done it.
Smiling face.
I feel like it was only the first one. The very first one Mike and I did. We had the guy on. It was pretty cool. And then since then, I feel like they've all been.
Eric and Koopa have done a couple.
I'm just speaking for my own, but okay, cool. Yeah, definitely. I like them with the person on because I feel like I, at that point, get a little more context with you. Like, all right, tell me about this, tell me about that. It ends up working out pretty well. We'll do it either way,
we each have our own style. I can definitely say that Eric and Koopa, their shit is like deep dive. Like fucking, here's a dude you should pick up off waivers.
I would say this. Koopa and Eric, they get so deep. They get so deep with it that they're kind of like you would like to have them do your team review. You would not like to have them check your prostate. You know, you don't want them. You don't want that. You don't want that glove.
I can't bring Nova around Eric and Koopa because of how deep they get.
Well, you can. Ruined. You can. You just got to put $100 back in the pot. You know.
Novas. Stay away from Eric and Koopa.
Mike's league division will just randomly disappear once his team hits 5-0. All right, let's answer some questions. Then I gotta get out of here. Get some things. We got to get some stuff ready as we can for
We can tease it. We can tease it. We can be teases. All right, teases. We'll show.
Mike has one thing on his mind for everyone that is not aware. Between Nova,
what are you talking about?
Please tease the audience, okay? Tease and peas.
I'm a God-fearing man.
Wow.
Tease the audience. So
right. You're not going to tease me?
Keep your ears open. You know, Dumbos. I got big ears. Actually, I don't. Proportionate to the rest of my body, my ears look very small. Adam, are your ears big?
I think I would say they're like a little above average, but they're not bad. Now, when you get older, that's the only thing that keeps growing. So if you have big ears and they get older, you're going to be like just Dumbo ears, but I don't know.
But keep your ears open. Keep your eyes open. This weekend, a massive, cataclysmic, earth-shaking,
this dude right here. Look at this.
Timbers be shivered announcement is coming from the South Harmon family. The South Harmon family. I mean, it is a biggest thing we've ever done, right? No question, Adam. Like it's.
I mean, yeah. Since starting South Harmon, I would say probably like.
Well, we started South Harmon to like 4 people.
No. What I mean is like, that's technically probably the biggest thing we've ever
true,
done, because
true,
if we don't have that, the whole thing doesn't exist. But
that's true. That's
yeah,
true. That's true.
I would say since the random ass fucking insane start of this thing. Yes, I would agree. There's definitely been some pretty cool things along the way. Like the warp tool has been
huge,
massive. I don't want to. This is not a thing to discount any of the stuff that we've done along the way, because I think we've done some really cool, innovative stuff in the space. But
huge.
I'll say this as far as what this announcement's going to be. Once you hear it, you'll exactly understand what Mike and I are talking about right now. So
big time. Yeah,
I'm excited about it.
This weekend, no, it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. Well, believe me, so do we. Keep it in your pants, all right, Poyle. We'll.
Patience is a virtue that I don't have.
Mike also with the name Virtues thinking the exact same thing, and that's we are so cooked. We are totally cooked. I'm sorry. We're gonna be, before this announcement ever actually becomes official, we're gonna be toast. Let's go through and answer as many questions as we can. But anything else you want to say on the matter? I think you did a pretty good job of teasing it for sure. That was
no.
That was like a little more than a tease. Like you showed a little skin.
I got a strong hankering for like figuring out where the phrase "shiver me timbers" came from. Like
I was gonna tell you to stop while you're ahead, because I was afraid you were gonna misuse a word or say something crazy.
I got it. Shiver me timbers. Good. I did hit Maddie and Cody. They had a stream earlier today. I hit them up with the whole kind of a deal about, they were talking about, I think it's called like a spoonerism, where you get like shit mixed up and words go before other words.
A spoonerism.
Seth Dywald went into the whole fucking thing. It was cool to like listen to like where that came from. But anyways, one of the things that we always make a joke about at work, I like purposely saying common sayings or phrases like "shiver me timbers" purposely wrong, and just seeing how many people catch it and like try to correct you. So one of the things I really like to say, Adam, is it's not rock appliances. it's not rock appliances, okay?
All right. I was privy.
It's very basic.
No one was supposed to hear this, but I was privy, just like everybody else was, to the Mike and Maddie finish. That was, the bloopers. Mike, let me see your glass. This is a glass check. See? You see? Yeah. On the bus back in the day, you had the hands check. This is a glass check. Let me see your glass. Put your glass in the air.
My bus was usually filled with dudes, so.
And that's why they had to do so many hand checks? That's bad news for you, buddy. That's God. Really. It all starting to make a lot of sense, everybody. I've been through a lot. Trade Laporta, Warren, Higgins. How do I even try to answer a question after what just took place? Laporta, Warren, Higgins, my 25 second for 225 first, a 26 first, all non-playoff.
No.
Mike,
no.
3 firsts that are all non-playoffs? Yeah.
For T. Higgins, Sam Laporta?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm doing this.
I didn't see.
No, I'm doing this.
I didn't see he snuck in the 26 first in there. I was thinking just 2.
Second and 225. Yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't have done that. I would not have done that.
You're missing one here. Yeah. So his current team, Hurts, Caleb, May, Downs. Okay, so he's got Hurts, but his other 2 quarterbacks are rookies. Deshaun Watson. Okay, fine. Marvin Harrison, Neighbors, Reed. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Start 9. Just give me fucking 3 more firsts. And I'm really going to set myself up for 2025 to be my year.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'm doing this.
I'm in. Yeah, I'm in. I think sometimes the other thing is to get 3 non-playoff firsts, Mike, is tough. Is tough to do. All right. I was gonna actually see if I could leave you, as I'm planning to leave this here. I was gonna see if you just keep your hands up the whole rest of the episode. That'd be awesome. Okay, Ethan, appreciate it.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Mike, if you can, this will be a battle of wills. Let's see how long this man can keep his hands up. That'd be fantastic.
My arm's getting tired.
Mystic Flame.
They're fat.
All right. Oh shit, I fucked it up. Now I have to. Damn it. Well, it was still worth it. Give late first, Polk in a 26 third. Get Zay Flowers. Start 11. I think so. I think so.
I think I'm in.
Start 11
Think I'll
is
take
like,
Zay.
if it was 9 or 10, I wouldn't even be thinking. Start 11 is like, can I maybe find a way to get Polk and traded for someone else better in my lineup, like on rookie hype? I think I'm still going to do this. I just don't, when you get to start 11, start 12, it's like I start really being a little bit more critical about like consolidation, because you're like, I need to have a lot of starters, but I think this is Zay for me. What do you think here?
Zay.
Yeah.
Zay.
Doing it.
I'm good.
Let's not get
Zay.
too cute, you know? Let's not
Start
get too
11. I'm good. Zay. Yep.
cute.
Fuck it.
All right.
Production. Look at fucking Harry Snowman with where Shiver Me Timbers came from. I fucking love you. I love you.
Mike might pour up. We might all be in big trouble. Based on solid reference to timbers, which are wooden support frames of a sailing ship, in heavy seas, ships would be lifted up and pounded down. Pause. So hard as to shiver the timbers. The timbers would shake when the boat would come down off the wave and slam the water, shivering the frame of the boat. Obviously would be a little startling. We are off the rails, Matt Dennis puts in the middle of it. Sorry, I'm a weirdo like that stuff. I at this point, I'm not even sure what the hell we're doing here.
Hats off to you, sir.
Alejandro, 12-team Superflex, full PPR, start 10, tight end warp is shit. I mean, this all sounds exactly right. I traded Kincaid for a late 25 first and mid-second. Thoughts? Got to get an RB next. I think this is a trade I would absolutely make. I think probably all of your league is like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, you're an idiot. You're on a different bus, but nah, I'm with you.
I'll take the liquidity and try to buy what actually matters in this league.
Yeah, the only thing, like, in this scenario, I think this is what you want to do. Now you 4D this, you play that first, the second, maybe even if you have to add something else to it to go get yourself like a true difference maker in warp, that's the play. If you can trade Kincaid cross-positionally and like skip that process, sure. But if this trade is on the table, I think, Mike, I just take it every time.
Yep. Easily. Bye.
Yeah.
See you, Dalton.
I'm kind of
It's not
curious.
even the good
I'm kind of
Dalton.
curious to know Alejandro in the chat. Like, do people go crazy and like, no, fuck that. This makes no sense. Why would you do that? Like,
You're
that'd be awesome.
psychotic. Why are you doing this?
Yeah,
You're an idiot.
You're ruining the league. That's one of my favorite ones. This is ruining the
I always
league.
love to. So, Adam, you default to the voice of, listen, I'm not going to put the guy on blast, but a former manager of yours.
Yeah, that's true. I'll be honest. It's actually, Mike, to your point, it's 12 years of doing that. I think it's just like, it's instilled. It's just what I go to. It's 100% factual. Well, you nailed that. You really did.
I pick it up every time. I'm like, oh, that's what he goes to.
Because we used to just, Mike,
fucking guy.
we used to just do it, daily, multiple times a day in the office. Half the time when the guy's walking right by. I mean, he knows exactly what the fuck we're doing, you know?
Yeah, I love it. Fuck that guy. He sounded like a dick anyways. I beat the shit out of him.
Oh, yeah. Well, I would love that. You know, Mike, if you beat someone's ass that's that old, it's like, all right, you might feel bad for a second, but I'll say this guy's an exception. I wouldn't feel bad for an instant. It would be amazing.
I wouldn't feel bad at all.
That would be as alive as I've ever felt, beating that old guy.
There's nobody more annoying than like old white dudes. Just nobody.
How about if you worked for that was the president, the owner, and then the two managers? How about that, huh? Mm-hmm. Whew, tough deal. We got a deal. Only one question. Not trying to pressure you at all. Is this gonna make into a vid? Yeah, I mean that's the whole. Well, yes. Now, easy content for you. I can definitely make it. What we do on the team review too. If you guys are ever considering to go to get a team review with us, we put on there at the end. Make sure you take a look at this. It's the opt-in thing. So you basically have a chance to either opt in, saying we can take the content and use it for the YouTube channel, or you have the chance to opt out and be like, nah, this is just for my own private parts. You know. So yeah, if you want, I've definitely 100%. The whole idea is I'm going to make a vid for it. So if you just want it for you, that's fine. If you want to have me put it on the channel, I'll happily do that too. I don't know how. We'll see what the attention span of people is, Mike. 25 leagues. Whew.
God damn.
I think it's 24, but I'm calling it 25.
The way we fucking talk too.
Yeah, that's why I told him. I said this is the price, because even if I try to go quickly through these, that's not really how I go. So
Are we taking a week off?
Yeah, close. Yeah, close. It might take a while to do. I'm not gonna commit to have it done in a day. In no way.
It's like a 9-part team review.
It's probably take me as long as it took me to do fucking Mind Warp last year.
It might.
Didn't get much of a reaction. I have Laporta as well, so it was no. Oh my goodness. Now the answer would have been yes regardless, but with context, I would have been aggressively making sure I got rid of Kincaid's ass. All right.
Fucking.
Let's see if we got one last question here that's worth a shit. Speaking of warp, that's shit. Can I find one? It always amazes me when there's this many people on, and like I have to scroll during AMA to find questions, because they're just like, yeah, let's listen to them talk about the Scott Fishbowl, and then now that Mike's been drinking, well, where is it?
Alan Coots recently.
Okay, maybe I just
taking
scrolled over
27 first for Keenan.
Where is this?
Towards the bottom. One of the most recent ones we had.
Look at drunk Mike getting
That's as far as I made it.
Look at drunk Mike getting me on the rails. Is amazing. You know why? That was good. The way it's seen on my screen, it just looks like I'm not tripping. It didn't look like a question. Sorry about that, Alex. You guys taking a 27 first for Keenan, right? I'm not tripping.
Done.
I mean, we just talked about Adams for a 26 first. I mean, Alex, if you could find a way to get an earlier first, sure. But if you just get a first for Keenan Allen right now, I don't hate it. He's also one not projected to be the old, only target earner in his offense anymore. You may have heard there's a new guy in town, Rome. He's got DJ Moore. I'll be honest with you, with Keenan, Mike, I don't even know, like, if this guy ends up really being amazing in points per game, or like early on he's scoring points, I don't even know if you get more than this for him, like the way he's going to be viewed. That's why I think this one's such a smash. There's Adams, it's like, all right, maybe someone will kind of go nuts if he has 2 ridiculous weeks in a row, because it's still Devontae Adams. Keenan Allen, I don't think that bump's ever coming anymore. Third receiver in the offense? Fuck no. Send it away. Send it away.
I'm good. Bye.
Give it away now. Give it away. Give it away.
I did see a question up there, too. I don't remember who asked it, but they asked something about their league still hasn't had their rookie draft. Is that weird? I'm with you. It's fucking weird to me, and I still have like 3 leagues that haven't drafted rookies yet, and it's like kind of almost pissing me off at this point. Like,
you're in 3 leagues that really? Mike,
I'm trying to be patient, but I fucking hate it. It's like, what are we doing?
Dude, so I did
fucking ridiculous.
I did a Q&A yesterday on BDGE, and someone hit me with a question, and I've just kind of been in the mindset, my rookie drafts have all been done for, months now. So someone put 107, and in my mind, I was thinking mid-25 first, even though it was 107. Like, I had to get myself to think, wait, you guys haven't had your rookie draft yet? I feel like that is weird, though. I feel like at this point, what are we waiting for? It's really weird.
I don't get it. Fuck these people, man, especially because you and I are in leagues.
What are we waiting on, though? What are we waiting on?
We're like, as soon as the fucking rookies get put in the system, the first go-around in, February, we're like, fuck it, let's draft, boys. Let's
Mike, we're drafting before we even know who the fucking rookies are necessarily going to be. Like, we'll draft with the kickers as placeholders for the rookie draft the following year. Fuck it.
We got it. We'll figure it out.
That is, I'm trying to think. The latest one I have, I think, Mike, is in early June. Which that one feels weird, because it's like, a lot of times it's May or it waits, but when are these drafts that you have? I'm curious, like, when you actually are supposed to have the draft. They want to wait till like August, almost like the redraft mindset? We're playing Dynasty here.
I don't get it.
Like, what information are you waiting for? That doesn't make sense to me.
So, Trip
Where
Crown
is this
too,
question, for the record? I'm trying to find it.
It was up there a ways. Trip Crown also said he had a warp question up there.
Okay.
It starts with, so I'm in a league where my team is stacked. He starts it off by saying 10 team, so automatically fuck you.
Yeah, that's why we normally don't answer these type of questions. No, I'm just kidding. I actually love answering these, because Mike hates answering the 10 teams. Non-tight end, dude, a 10-team non-tight end premium trip, buddy. Listen, we're here for you. Like, we'll help you get into different leagues. Like, I just don't. I'll answer the question, but I kind of feel bad in the way,
Oh.
Non-tight end premium 10-team. Like, how much do you love these people?
Ugh.
Anyway, I have Moss Deontay as my running back 5, wide receiver 10. I have Pitts Bowers, and no, it's not signing premium, but is it worth it to cut off the warp and trade Moss for Deontay and McBridge? I think he meant McBride.
Same thing, right?
Same but different.
I mean, Deontay's, if he's wide receiver 10's never starting for you.
I'll pull up the warp tool right now. What's the info? Give us your number.
Yeah. Give us your
And I'll
number.
call.
Oh.
I'll pull this up. I'm kind of curious to see, like, non-side and premium, Mike, I just imagine this line being so bad. Like, so fucking bad.
Like, yes. Who gives a fuck?
And it's 10 team? Like, brother, what's your username? Give me, the fact that we're going this in-depth on a 10 team is making me kind of feel a little bit queasy.
Yeah. I mean, what's a better way to end the show than me being absolutely disgusted? I just think of Nova.
We're trying our best to
Nova
get
making
Mike
it.
without taking a 66 to reenact that face. One of my favorite emojis of all time. That fucking 66, buddy.
They sit
What up,
here
Jake?
the whole time just taunting me.
M
right?
Cup. Yeah.
They just sit here going like, huh? What do you think? Little blueberry? Want to throw your guts up, buddy?
What's the
I feel like dog shit?
what? Okay. Oh, junior Dynasty players. Yeah, this is a JV type league, so it makes sense.
Your Dynasty players. What a league name.
Fuck yeah, buddy. Let's take a look at this.
We all
Let's take a
suck.
look at this. Fuck. You know what, Mike? Here, let's give a little warp. What do you think? Give a little warp love, huh?
Why not? It's a 10 team. Nobody gives a fuck.
As you can see, it hasn't been run on this one yet. It's having a hard time.
It's really loading.
Yeah. Sorry, Trip, but we're gonna get there. It's just with all the teams, it's having a hard time getting through all this info. You know.
M Cup. What a name, too. How do you go from Trip Crown to M Cup?
That's a good question.
Is that like a 2 girls, 1 cup?
I was gonna say
Two
two.
girls,
Two
two
crowns,
girls,
one
one M
cup.
cup?
I was gonna say 2 crowns, 1 cup. Yeah. Oh my God, Mike! It's worse than I envisioned. When you get below the rookie line,
Woof.
so get this right. This is what you're looking at. Everybody here. Let me see if I can zoom this in just a touch here. There we go, huh? What about that? All right. So what you're looking at right now is what in the multi-year graph. This is 5 years of warp. So this is 19 to 23 averaged out. Mike, there's one tight end that's over 2 warp in that. So, and mind you, there's going to be some Travis Kelce redonkulous years in this.
Yeah.
Right?
Where he would have been like wide receiver 1 in some
Yeah.
leagues.
Let's take a look now. It's got to run a little bit here. Look at this fucking pooper, huh? This is exactly what I was envisioning. That is fucking ass cheeks, brother.
Yeah, I'm good, man. I already got 2 tight ends. I ain't fucking sent.
I just want you guys to see this, okay? T.J. Hawkinson, Travis Kelce, they are fucking Nico Collins, Amari Cooper, like.
Back end wide receiver 2 types.
What was the question now? Now it's Deontay, okay? So
Deontay and Zach Moss for Trey McBride.
let me just think. Like Zach Moss, I bet you last year was fucking somewhere stupid. Maybe not quite that high, but where are we at here? All right, 34. It's possible that actually it's not a terrible trade.
If Deontay's his wide receiver 10, though, how many fucking players are above him at wide receiver that you're going to start every single week, no questions asked?
No. So
over
that's what.
whatever tight end's going to be.
No, well, hear me out on my thinking on this. I'm with. I was getting ready to say, this is just ridiculous at this point, but fuck it, we're here. All right, so he's basically looking at Moss's running back 5, wide receiver 10, Deontay. Like, here's my thing, my thought process. Now, this is where Trip, you have to probably be the person that understands this. I wonder if can you send to a team like a Bowers and McBride in a trade to now get like an elite player? That's my only thought process. You know that there's no fucking way Deontay or Zach Moss is in a trade getting you anywhere near, not even anywhere near elite, but anywhere near probably relevant, frankly.
Yeah.
So it's market value for me more than anything. And that's, I don't know in this format, like 10 team, the fact that you have 3 of these tight ends, there's still plenty of options. Teams might be fine at tight end. So I would say I would do the trade if you think that there's a market play. If you sent like 2 of the elite tight ends to somebody, can you get a much better package back?
If Deontay is my wide receiver 10,
Yeah.
like 10,
Yeah.
can I go to like my wide receiver 5 and add like a second round pick? And like, what does that actually get me? Like,
Well,
that's what I'm.
That's for sure. I think one of the things to keep in mind here, Trip Crown, too, is like, now in this format, because it's 10 team, it's probably consolidation is just hard to go up, consolidate up. Everybody has plenty of depth. But I think I'd rather have, like Mike's saying here, can I slot Deontay Johnson into like my wide receiver 7 and trade 3 of the receivers that are excess at a higher market price away to now get 1 higher stud back? I think that's probably a smarter play. Now, here's the thing. If you can trade a McBride, okay, it makes sense. But, yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I'd rather just hold Deontay probably as my wide receiver construction.
Or in the same sense.
The league is
like
pretty dead, so it's not. So this is also it's a 10-team league that's dead, and all's making sense now.
I'd much rather, like, can I trade Pitts or Bowers, whoever the fuck somebody wants, and Deontay, and get, like, a usable piece? Like, make my wide receiver 5 better.
The only thing is, so like last year, where is this fucking guy? McBreezy is tight end 9 for the record. Like,
I like him a lot, and I think
So
he's
do
got
I.
a reasonable chance to be tight end 1 this year. But
yeah,
I just don't.
This is
if he is, do I
I-
give a fuck?
I would definitely much rather do this, frankly. Like this is the move in a 10-team league that you have to try to do.
Yes.
This is the way. Now, even if you made this move, I still could probably take on that Trey McBride trade because you go from 10 to what 8 here, and now you get rid of Deontay. You still got 7 fucking receivers. So, but this is a trade. This is the trade that you
so
got
he's
here.
down to 7 wide receivers, but he gets 1 back, so he's at 8. Now he trades away
Yeah, he's down to
his
7.
wide
Yep.
receiver. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep, I'm with you. All right,
Yeah.
enough home
Definitely
league.
try that shit first. Jesus, fuck 10-team
I was
college
getting ready to say, Mike, enough home leagues and 10-team leagues, but Mike, guess what, buddy?
Jordan.
Now, hold on. It's Dynasty Start 10. Maybe we're okay. Dynasty Start 10, 7 picks, 3 rounds.
Start 10-team. There's a comma.
Yeah, I
There's
can't
10
read.
team.
I'm
And then there's another comma.
I'm a little bit dyslexic right now. I don't know what's going on here. Dynasty Start, 10-team, 7 pick, 3 round. I'm confused. I'm just gonna say that aloud. I'm confused.
He's in the 3rd round, pick 7 in a 10-team startup. Your first mistake was 10-team. But
Are you taking
he's
Waddle
okay.
or Kyron Williams?
he's got Mahomes and Brees Hall already. Am I taking Waddle or Kyler? It's fucking Waddle if those are the 2 choices. No,
I would say Waddle for me probably.
there's no
I'm
probably
not that in on Kyron. I'm a little bit concerned about what's going to happen this year. If you are a bullet, like I would say in a 10-team league, Mike, I give a little more. I'm a little more willing to risk it with running backs. Kyron's just not my cup of tea. So if you're like super bullish on Kyron, fine. I feel like Waddle would be my pick though for sure.
You got to have something better than those 2 guys, right? Talk about 2 people we shit on all the time.
7th pick, third round.
Right? There's got to be somebody, right?
I
There's
mean,
gotta be.
I bet you we would take Ayuk if he's still there. I'm trying to think too. I don't know. Let me get off of this screen for the record. I don't know why I'm doing this here.
Yeah, what are some of the other options, Jordan?
Yeah,
Since you're fucking like you're killing us here.
Bring
Just give us those 2
dessert cart around. Let's see what you got. You know.
Right. All right. What is some of like the shittiest desserts? Do you like any of those? So they got like the cream on top or whatever, but it's like a little bit baked and browned. I forget what the fuck they call it. It's like a pie, and it's got the cream on top. I want to say mignon, but that ain't the fucking thing. That's steak.
I'm having a hard time keeping my mind on desserts right now with you talking about cream on top. But
I got it.
what do you got, Jordan? Give us the other options though. We're still listening, believe it or not. I don't know if anyone else is, but we are.
I got on pie like lost it.
Yeah,
My brain
Mike
went
is
stupid.
no longer here. He's like 10 teams in a row. Well, let's talk about pie.
Let's talk about pie. No, that ain't the pie. It's cream cheese. Banana cream.
I'm gonna
Banana.
laugh when this doesn't. Whatever this is doesn't even fucking exist.
It does exist.
Meringue.
It's like a souffle. Meringue.
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 As soon as
Meringue.
Dirty Bird put it on,
Thank
I'm
you,
like, I
Dirty
know what
Bird.
he's. I do know meringue.
You know, like
I
a
get it
lemon
now.
meringue pie.
I
It's that
I
cream
love
that's
lemon
got
meringue.
the
Now,
the little.
I will admit, like, I
It's
know what
fucking trash.
now when I hear it, I understand what you're talking about. I was really confused by your description, frankly, but I get it.
That is like the lowest of warp on pies. Meringue. Who gives a shit, man? Give me an apple.
I like a
pumpkin,
lemon meringue pie.
Blueberry.
I want that.
French silk.
I want that Noah Fant warp from last year on Mike's chart. Give me that fucking lemon meringue, you know?
Give me one of them ice cream cakes. That counts as pie.
Dude, an ice cream cake is tough to beat, though. I mean, how do you say no to a good fucking ice cream cake, huh?
Give me those like
This show is just amazing to me sometimes. Like, we're talking about fucking desserts all of a sudden. I'm just kidding around with the dessert tray. By the way, Jordan, have you left us? Everybody else is here waiting for...
Yeah, we were waiting on Jordan.
No,
What were your
Jordan,
other options?
we'll wait for you, buddy. We're, we're gentlemen. We'll wait on you.
We do have no. I'm trying to look like in a. No, we don't have 10.
Baked
team.
Alaska feels like it's up your alley. I'm not sure.
What's a baked Alaska?
I that was the first thing. I'm looking at all the comments, and Baked Alaska just really stuck out to me. I kind of feel like it would be
cake
sweet to
topped
go to
with
Alaska
ice
and
cream?
get baked, but
So
is it
baked
actually a dessert?
Alaska is a cake topped with ice cream and caramelized meringue.
Ooh, Mike, even you can't say no to that.
Dude, look, it looks pretty
Look
fucking
at it. See
fire.
that? I knew it. I
I
know.
might be back in.
I know when you got Mike back on the hook. All right.
You had me at ice cream. You had me at ice cream.
Dirty Bird.
trying
We
to
all
think of
we
the
all have
37.
Noah Fant. All right. Noah Fant. If you're a friend of this show, even if you hate this show, you have Noah Fant in your heart. You can't deny it.
So it's like a 303 in a normal 12-team league.
All right, Mike. Devon. So we got Smitty, Pittman. Whoa. Is this Superflex? Not
I
Superflex.
would
Is it?
assume so. Yeah,
Is it?
should be. He took Mahomes in the first.
How are we not taking Lamar though?
Yeah. Lamar.
Like I know it's 10 team, but
Maybe he took him in the second.
I know it's 10
Gives a
team,
shit.
but so the scarcity doesn't apply, but the elite ones still matter. So I have no problem having a Mahomes out. If you give me two of the top four, Mike, Jalen Hurts, Mahomes, Allen, Lamar here, like I don't think I can say no.
Lamar Jackson. No question about it.
Yeah, I think I would take
Yeah.
Lamar here.
Yeah. Fuck that wide receiver.
That's my personal opinion.
You might
Sure,
get Smitty.
I also
in
don't
the
play in 10 teams.
fourth. Might
Yeah.
get Smitty in the fourth,
But
which is like the same thing as taking Waddle in the third. Who gives a fuck?
Right. The receivers that are going to come back to you, I think, in the next round are probably going to give you similar ranges of outcomes to Waddle, unless Tyreek gets hurt. So
I mean, a lot of the guys he listed in 12-team ADP are there in the fourth. So what do you think happens when you have 6 less picks in the fourth round?
I'm no math expert, but I think you get one of them.
I'm pretty sure they're all going to be there. And Kyron versus Kenneth Walker, it's like the same shit.
I think it's
Different
actually
man.
the
Who gives a
dessert.
fuck?
The dessert analogy is very, very good, Mike. Like, listen, Mike doesn't even like meringue, all right? But even he would draft meringue if that was the last option.
I'll take
there.
a Bake Alaska.
Who on the turn then? Okay, so so you have 2 picks here on the turn? Oh,
Then you can consider one of those other guys, right?
Waddle probably still.
Waddle. And then, like,
If you're
Waddle,
super
Smitty,
in on Kyron and that's what you want to do, I didn't sign off on it, but I can understand it. All right, that's the way I would say that. But I'm taking Waddle.
Well,
I think.
Waddle, Pittman, Devontae Smith, Brandon Ayuk, and insert one of those guys. They're probably there.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. You know what, Jordan? This is as good a time as ever to end the show, because
You're right.
Mike, how many times do we get this on the show?
Not very often.
Even when they
Definitely
fucking,
not in the comments.
even when they know we're right, they don't ever tell us. They're like, nah,
Maybe
fuck
on the
you.
live stream. Maybe on the live stream because occasionally, like,
Oh,
I'll
brother,
just, like, pick one out.
I didn't tell you.
Comments, never.
So, by the way, if you're around and you haven't seen from like last year, we do recap every Sunday. We're gonna do that again this year. During the Halloween, we did a one time, and we'll do it again, like a haunted house type edition, where Mike's Brock Purdy slander got him in trouble, and Billy the Puppet from Jigsaw had him executed. Okay,
That's his name?
Billy the Puppet, right? I'm almost positive.
Really?
Jigsaw, yeah, isn't it Billy the Puppet?
I didn't know Jigsaw's puppet had a name.
Oh, buddy, yeah. No wonder you died. That's Billy the Puppet, Bubba.
I'm learning this. No shit, it really is Billy the Puppet.
You thought?
Okay.
Yeah, Mike. Do you know how long I had to get that thing to work like that? Do you know how long I had to play around and fuck around with Billy the Puppet to get that to happen?
Oh, you fucked around for a while, but I didn't
Long
know Billy
time.
the Puppet was a
Pause. But yeah, it's Anyway, what was Mike? So the reason I'm bringing that up, Brock Purdy's been somebody last year that we got a lot of, on his down weeks we clown, and then on the weeks that Brock Purdy would go off, everyone's in the comments yelling. Mike, so you got to go check this out on the redraft channel for BDGE. So I'm talking about Brock Purdy. I'm getting ready to start talking about Brock Purdy. I was the third person in the discussion, okay? I say this, I'm not a Brock Purdy guy, but it kind of amazes me. I'm getting ready to get in my point, and there's a BDGE sign like with panels behind me. And the fucker starts coming down. Like, it's going to take me out. And Nick has to fucking catch it. And after we get it all set back up, I'm like, listen, I'm not going to talk about Brock Purdy anymore, okay? But seeing what I've seen with Mike and this, we're out of this fucking game of talking about Purdy, man. The slander that we're going to give him just goes too far. So,
Oh, no.
dude, it's actually kind of crazy. It was eerie as fuck. Because I'm talking about Purdy, like, it's like, what? That's fucking creepy as fuck.
We're pulling it up. We're checking it up.
It's 100% worth the watch. But no, you're right. That Mike, long-winded way of saying we never get you right on the show. So let's get some music too to this, huh?
Let's go, man. I really got to pee now.
Do you? Oh, son of a bitch.
Yeah. Like I'm pinching it. You know what I mean? You ever do that?
Oh, I mean, just don't pinch the loaf off. Like, just pinch it so it doesn't come.
No. No loaf. Other end. It's like the Uno reverse card. Back to you.
Okay,
Bob.
Dirty Bird. Mike has a serious shit to get to. I will make sure I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna leave this here, and we will answer this next time for your 14 team. All right, I got you.
There you go, Dirty Bird.
We'll see you back here, same time, same place next week. We love y'all. We're out of here. Peace.
See y'all.